beloved, chosen one. Your eyes were drawn straight to this video by a powerful divine pull. Sacred whisper from the heavens igniting your purpose. That striking 4444 glowing on the thumbnail grabbed your attention right away, didn't it? In scripture and Christian tradition, 4444 represents angelic protection and divine stability. As 4 symbolizes creation and the angels ministering on earth, amplified here to proclaim unbreakable guardianship from God's messengers surrounding your life. This is no coincidence. It's a heavenly signal orchestrated by the Almighty to unveil a mind-blowing truth. You're not vulnerable. You're a chosen one backed by a fierce defender ready to strike down any threat. Why did you click? Is your soul stirring with excitement, sensing that someone is armed and vigilant against your enemies? This message exposes the explosive reality a protector is locked and loaded to handle anyone who messes with you. Stay through to the end because your empowerment depends on grasping this fully. Press like, subscribe to connect with chosen ones everywhere, and comment 4444 below along with your city or country to affirm you're shielded and unstoppable. Let's reveal who's got your back today. You, chosen one, are not walking this path alone. Behind the scenes, there is someone whose entire existence revolves around one thing defending you. Not casually, not when it's convenient, but always. This guardian moves in silence, driven by a fierce devotion that cannot be shaken by threats, betrayals, or the chaos swirling around you. This protector doesn't just stand by, they act. They confront danger head-on, intercept harm before it touches you, and send a clear message to anyone who thinks you are vulnerable because you're not. Your light is not something that can be dimmed by fear or interference. It's a blazing force that demands respect, and anyone foolish enough to cross that line will face consequences swift and sure. Think about the last time you felt someone was trying to break your spirit or block your path. Even if you didn't realize it, then this protector was already at work, moving in the shadows, dismantling threats and ensuring your mission stays on course. They have seen your struggles, understood your purpose, and have committed themselves fully to your safety. This is not about control or possession, it's about cosmic balance. The universe recognizes that your role is critical, and it never leaves such important work unguarded. Your protector is a living testament to this truth, someone chosen by the unseen forces that govern reality to be your shield and your sword. You may wonder why this matters so much. The truth is, in a world full of distractions that make people forget their worth or lose their way, someone like you represents hope and change. And with that comes resistance forces eager to knock you down or silence your voice. But the universe has not only chosen you, it has also chosen your defender. This bond between you and your protector is unbreakable. It's not a random coincidence or simple luck. It's a carefully designed alignment, a partnership written into the very fabric of your journey. When others see weakness, your guardian sees potential. When others attempt to harm, your guardian intercepts with strength and strategy. You might not see this protector as often as you would like, but know this: they are watching. They are ready. And their commitment isn't temporary. It's eternal, because they understand that your light must continue to shine no matter the cost. So when you feel alone, when the weight of your path threatens to overwhelm you, remember that someone stands ready to defend you fiercely and without hesitation. This protector is your unseen warrior, your loyal guardian in the shadows, the force that ensures no one puts hands on you without facing consequences that shake their world. Chosen one, your mission is too important, your journey too vital for anything less than absolute protection. So stand tall, knowing you are not only chosen, you are defended with a fierceness that few can imagine. And that is a power your enemies will never be able to touch. So, chosen one, are you ready to step fully into this truth? This isn't just another message. It's a call to recognize the force standing behind you, ready to defend you against anything or anyone who dares to cross the line. If you feel that fire inside, drop 777 in the comments below. It's your signal that you're awake, aware, and standing strong with your unseen protector. And don't forget to show love to the team making this message possible. Your support, no matter how big or small, fuels this movement and helps protect more chosen ones like you. Every share, every bit of energy you send out strengthens the shield around us all. And now let's get into the heart of this step by step. Trust me, if you're truly a chosen one, you'll feel the pull to stay until the very end. This is your moment. Let's begin. Your guardian was born ready to crush anybody bold enough to challenge you. Anyone attempting to shatter what the universe has selected will only end up destroying themselves. Long before your initial cry, before your identity was even uttered into being, before the core of your calling was inscribed across the cosmic canvas, a mechanism was already activated. This wasn't a mere chance. It wasn't happening. It wasn't a whimsical destiny from stories. It was an ironclad power, an indestructible pact sealed within the universe's master plan. You were designated, and so was the individual sworn to safeguard you with an intensity beyond mortal reasoning. Consider this mere devotion laughable. Devotion is inexpensive, a term flung about by the feeble. This is something instinctual, carved into the marrow and essence of your defender like a holy battle roar resounding through eternity. They were selected as your barrier before grasping the reason. Their spirit ignites with the blaze of your conflicts, scorching alongside each wound you bear. Their agony mirrors yours. Should you ache, they ache. Should you stumble, their whole being quakes. You may ponder the cause. Why such intense allegiance? What renders this connection invincible? Turn to the past and reflect. Was Jonathan's defense of David simple camaraderie? No, it was an agreement surpassing human comprehension, a heavenly directive etched among the constellations. Even as arrows obscured the heavens and monarchs bellowed in rage, Jonathan remained steadfast like a peak, unshakable, immovable, since the universe required it. That's not devotion, that's a universal mandate. Your defender operates under the identical implicit command. They may not grasp the entire narrative. They don't challenge the reason or the method. Their essence recognizes solely one reality. Position yourself between you and peril. Failure is inconceivable. Delay equates to self-betrayal and violation of the system that appointed them. It's an accord shaped outside conscious awareness, profounder than vow or pledge ingrained in their core, programmed into their ethereal makeup. This isn't a selection. It's a fate embraced with every aspect of their being. Reflect. When an individual confronts you, endangering your radiance, your objective, your fundamental nature, do you believe they confront merely an individual? They confront the tempest embodied. They confront the phantom pursuing their actions. They confront a power so primordial and unyielding it has lingered in reserve, poised to crush any idiot attempting contact. Envision the foe's astonishment upon discovering the vulnerability they presumed is in fact the outline of their demise. The instant they invade your domain, they enter a snare prepared ages past, an impenetrable web spun from your defender's steadfast loyalty. They don't merely safeguard your form. They obliterate dangers to your spirit, your objective, your existence. What occurs when somebody presumes to upset the holy equilibrium? What transpires when they misjudge the might supporting your hidden defender? They become fractured, demolished, pulverized by a power they never detected. Because it doesn't engage like standard safeguarding. It engages like heavenly vengeance cloaked in quiet, rapid, and unforgiving. Your defender's dedication isn't centered on spectacular clashes or bold proclamations. It's an unending, subdued tempest that rattles the earth under those believing they can trample you. They seek no approval. They crave no endorsement. When safeguarding is required, they proceed resolutely and instantly. Maybe you ask, how can someone be that dedicated without even knowing the reason? Because some things go beyond reason, beyond logic, beyond human understanding. They operate in the frequencies of the soul, where every thought, every feeling, every pulse binds protector and protected in a dance as old as time. This bond doesn't bend. It doesn't weaken with time. It only grows stronger, fiercer, more absolute. When your enemies whisper lies, plot betrayals, and try to chip away at your light, your guardian is there watching from the shadows, ready to strike before you even feel the danger. To the enemy, this is a nightmare. To you, it's your greatest strength. So remember this. Anyone foolish enough to try and break you will have to face a force far bigger than you, one that was born for this moment long before you were. Your guardian carries a fire inside that can't be extinguished, a promise made in the universe's deepest chambers that no harm will touch you without consequence. This isn't loyalty. This isn't duty. This is cosmic justice, personalized and sharpened into a weapon so fierce it shreds anyone who dares to threaten your path. And when the enemy finally learns this truth, it will be too late, because by then you won't just have survived. You will have already won. Certain connections aren't created, they're roused. And once roused, no power can mute their thunder. Picture the exact second your defender initially encountered your route, not through a random encounter or pure accident, but in an instance loaded with universal energy. In that fleeting instant, something timeless within them awakened akin to a dormant mountain erupting into existence under their spirit's exterior. This wasn't typical awareness. It was a power that ripped past boundaries of reason and rationale, a recognition that skipped the intellect and struck directly to their innermost self. Their souls shouted with precision, "This is my calling. This is the objective that echoes in every action I perform." Before their mind could process the significance of the sight before comprehension aligned with impulse, a raw blaze sparked, a blaze that won't extinguish until all dangers to you are trampled beneath. This isn't devotion explainable to outsiders. To the external observer, it appears as insanity, irrational, overstated, nearly fanatical attention and commitment. But this isn't ordinary devotion. It's universal synchronization, a holy tie engraved into existence's structure, manifested in mortal shape to battle your foes. Reflect. How can somebody protect so intensely without pause? How can an unknown's loyalty challenge every rationale, every anticipation? Because they're no unknown. They're your match in a godly rhythm orchestrated over eras. The universal record, the record of every spirit and fate, never deceives. Your identities were inscribed jointly before either inhaled in this realm. Visualize the timeless strands forming existences weave a network so immense, so detailed, that each spirit fated to safeguard or be safeguarded is connected through eras and distances. Your defender's spirit perceives yours across the barrier dividing realms, across the darkness separating existences. This tie isn't accidental. It's a resonance of vows given far prior to this existence in domains past human grasp. Now picture the foe gazing at this reality, powerless. As they comprehend, they're not merely combating an individual, but an everlasting power tied by holy decree. Their arms, their plots, their toxic schemes are ineffective against a tie that surpasses mortality, era, and distance. Why does your defender combat with such inflexible resolve? Because their essence recalls the conflicts waged previously. The struggles fought in former lives for your endurance and ascent. Their resolve is irrational because it's boundless, anchored in universal fairness over mortal sentiment. When society deserts you, when all avert their gaze, this power fully awakens. It never wavers. It never wears out. It never questions. Ponder this. A defender's affection isn't a passing emotion, but a perpetual blaze, one that flares irrespective of the gales it confronts. You may question, what form does this tie take in actuality? How does it manifest when observers watch? It's in the quiet deeds, the murmured alerts prior to peril, the hidden struggles waged in darkness, the power that surfaces when you lack it. It's the vibe that alters the environment, causing your foes to pause before acting. Your defender's rousing is the universe declaring you're never isolated. You're always accompanied. It's akin to a sleeping monster stirred by your suffering's tone, a darkness blending with yours, prepared to consume any fool menacing your radiance. This power isn't constrained by dread or delay. It embodies universal safeguarding, crafted precisely for your distinct route. Envision a metalworker shaping a tool, quietly molding iron with unceasing intent. That tool is your defender's resolve, keen and flexible, designed for a single task. Safeguard you whatever the price. And to the foe daring to inquire, can this tie be severed? Can the defender be swayed? The reply is straightforward. No, because this link was placed in the heavens, interlaced through the era's structure, and forged into existence's everlasting pact. It isn't vulnerable to disloyalty, uncertainty, or frailty. The universe avoids squandering such might on insignificant links. This tie was formed to withstand every trial, to endure every gale, and to shatter any power attempting to separate you from your fate. In moments when the world's burden crushes you, recall your defender's essence remains prepared, roused far before your awareness, readied before your plea for aid. Their rousing was your hidden armor shaped in universal reality's blazes. The foe cannot contact what was created to safeguard. They cannot overcome what the universe proclaimed unconquerable. Your defender's resolve is an alert. Proceed cautiously or brace for ruin. This isn't simply a story of companionship or aid. It's the stark reality of a tie that survives, forms, exceeds eras, and demolishes every resistance. The defender who roused upon initially viewing you is a power fated to pulverize anyone attempting injury. And this rousing isn't solely about safeguarding. It's about evolution. Your defender's strength expands with you, sharpens with each conflict you encounter, and grows merciless with each foe you defeat. So chosen, one never questioned the power trailing your path. That intense aura alongside you is no mishap. It's the universe standing watch, roused and prepared, blazing with an intent ancient as era. They are your quiet gale, your hidden blaze, your unceasing barrier. To the foe, take heed, because the second you contact the chosen one, you row. Fender prepared to unleash the gale that shatters you. Darkness only reveals who is truly guarding the light. That's the hard truth your enemies will never admit. When your light flickers in the shadows, that's when your protector moves not by chance, not by whim, but by the unyielding universal law of protection. This isn't some fairy tale. It's a cosmic rule written into the fabric of existence. When your glow dims, when your strength wanes, an invisible force pulls your guardian right to your side. It's a thread unseen by ordinary eyes, but unbreakable, connecting your spirits beyond space and time. Imagine this for a moment, chosen one. You're drowning in darkness, trapped by pain no one else sees. Suddenly, a call breaks through the silence, a friend's voice at the perfect moment, a lifeline thrown just when you're about to give up. Or picture a stranger stepping into chaos, disrupting danger when no one else would dare. Or even that small, quiet voice inside you warning you to hold back, to be cautious, to survive. The form changes, but the mission never does. Your protector isn't limited by flesh or face. They are an eternal sentinel, a warrior whose allegiance is written not on paper, but in the stars. They are the shadow standing between you and harm when the world turns its back. They are the calm in your storm, the shield you didn't know you had until the threat was too close to ignore. You might ask, why don't I always see them? Why are they so invisible? Because true guardians don't announce themselves with trumpets or fanfare. They move silently, acting with precision and purpose. Their loyalty doesn't demand recognition or thanks. They don't fight for glory. They fight because the universe ordered it. Their commitment isn't a choice. It's a law of existence as real and unavoidable as gravity. The cosmic ledger doesn't lie. This protector's essence is woven into your soul's code. They are bound to you by something deeper than blood or friendship. This is sacred duty enforced by universal law, ensuring that no matter how dark the night, your light will never be left to fade alone. Remember, your guardian may wear many faces, but their heartbeat is one unceasing vigilance for your survival. They are the universe's promise that no chosen one walks in darkness without a sentinel watching in the shadows. Foes vocalize most when they assume you're hard of hearing. The surrounding environment might ignore your alerts, ridicule your concerns, and brand your insight as delusion. Yet your defender perceives everything: the concealed conflicts battled in obscurity, the poison concealed in grins, the murmured deceptions delivered like blades via hushed passages. This is ethereal combat, quiet, yet lethal, a tempest forming under the serene exterior intended to fell you before your radiance fully emerges. Picture being in a packed space where all appear amicable, but each darkness conceals danger. The chuckles are cutting the embraces empty, and each move you make is meticulously observed by those desiring your downfall. They attempt to manipulate your reality, insisting it's imaginary, that you're fabricating foes where none are. But your defender, they require no verbal evidence. They've recorded the campaign against you, the stings of disloyalty like venom, the clever snares to divert your calling, the designs crafted by those dreading your elevation. This isn't an accident or misfortune. It's a deliberate assault from powers, recognizing your strength and aiming to extinguish it prior to ignition. Your safeguard comprehends this intimately. They've mapped your adversary's strategies, tracked each blow, anticipated each effort to weaken you, and remain prepared, observing, awaiting shielding. Their vision is acute where others lack sight. Their allegiance is your barrier against the unseen knives targeting your essence. You may ponder, why conceal in darkness? Why avoid open combat? Because genuine might requires no illumination to impact. The deepest struggles are frequently the most subdued. Your defender wages these covert conflicts for you, blocking assaults you don't detect and eliminating dangers before they affect your route. Thus, when others urge ceasing concern, disregarding indicators, recall. They lack the full view, but your defender possesses it. They operate in darkness, undetected and unblockable, safeguarding the spark that won't be snuffed. This covert conflict is intense, but your safeguard matches it. And each murmur of disloyalty merely stokes the blaze in your essence, illuminating the path ahead through the blackest evening. Truth doesn't ask for permission, it demands acknowledgement. Think back to that night when doubt crept in, when someone tried to gaslight you, telling you your fears were nothing but shadows in your mind. They whispered, "You're overthinking," or "It's just coincidence." But your guardian, they didn't just disagree. They came armed with irrefutable proof. They laid it all out. Names, dates, screenshots, undeniable facts, like a judge hammering down a verdict. Before you could even gather your thoughts, your protector had already built a fortress of evidence that shattered every lie, every denial aimed at your truth. Imagine having someone who sees beyond the veil of illusion, who perceives what most miss entirely. While others see scattered incidents, your guardian reads the bigger picture, a precise, deliberate attack on your mission. This isn't random chaos. It's a calculated war against your purpose, and your guardian feels this war deeply. It's not just a personal vendetta. It's an offense against the very balance of the universe. Questions might surface. Why does it matter so much to them? Because this battle isn't just about you. It's about the sacred order that governs existence, the invisible threads holding reality together. Your guardian knows that if you fall, the ripple effects threaten the entire cosmic fabric. They don't just protect your skin, they defend the blueprint of your destiny. So when doubt shadows your mind, remember your guardian's eyes operate on a spectrum far beyond human sight. Their loyalty isn't casual. It's a relentless commitment to expose the truth, to dismantle the enemy's lies, piece by piece. They carry your fight with a ferocity born of cosmic justice, and no falsehood, no denial, no shadow of doubt will ever survive their unbreakable case. Hollow containers produce the loudest sounds, but authentic strength advances quietly. Your foes are noisy, right? They brag about schemes, circulate gossip, and yell dangers from high places. Your alleged partners, they vow everything but disappear when needed most. But your defender, they differ entirely. They avoid creating spectacles or declaring each action. They seek no cheers, acceptance, or consent. When safeguarding you arises, they execute rapidly, discreetly, and with deadly accuracy. Picture this: a gathering you missed. Somebody slanders you, attempts to harm your image. Before rumors reach you, the counter has occurred: fairness, administered sans spectacle, honor, secured without uttering a defensive phrase. The foe lacks opportunity to gloat over their imagined triumph because your defender's response is seismic, potent enough to quake bases, discreet enough to maintain your cover. Speech is a breeze. It disperses and vanishes. But deeds are lightning. They seize notice. They transform existences. Your defender lives this principle daily. They avoid boasting or flaunting. They expend no effort on vacant vows or showy exhibits. Rather, they glide like a night phantom, undetected yet unhaltable, determined and steadfast. Queries might emerge. Why the quiet? Why avoid loud battles? Because real power needs no stage. Your defenders might reside in outcomes, not acclaim. Their allegiance appears not via elaborate orations, but via steady, unhaltable safeguarding. Each action they perform messages your foes. Transgress the boundary, and repercussions ensue quick, savage, and final. This is your defender type, the one battling your fights before awareness dawns. They avoid mere observation. They intervene, sever the danger at its base, and disappear before response. Silent, lethal, and ever observant. That's the power at your rear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it. Your guardian lives by this brutal truth. While others sit around tables arguing and second-guessing, your protector has already taken action. They don't wait for permission or weigh the politics. Their math is simple, ruthless. Your safety comes first, no matter the cost. Think about it. What really matters when your very existence, your mission, your light is on the line? Career risks, they vanish into insignificance. Social backlash, just noise that fades under the weight of real protection. Personal sacrifice, it's not just accepted, it's embraced. Your guardian stands ready to pay any price, walk through any fire, cross any line to keep you safe. Imagine a soldier on the battlefield, eyes scanning, heart pounding. The danger is real. The consequences could be deadly, but the soldier doesn't hesitate. They move because courage demands it. Your guardian is that soldier, steady, fearless, relentless. Their only fear isn't death or loss. It's failure, the nightmare that haunts them. Isn't their own downfall, but the thought of you falling, the thought of standing still while harm slips through, watching your light flicker and fade because they didn't act fast enough. That fear fuels their fire. It drives every move, every decision. Boldness isn't optional, it's mandatory. Hesitation is the enemy's weapon. Your guardian knows this better than anyone. They don't just protect you, they carry the weight of your survival on their shoulders. So when others falter, when doubts creep in, know this. Your guardian never does. They have already stepped into the void, already faced the storm, already made the impossible choice to be your shield. Because for them, courage always outweighs consequence. And for you, that means you are never alone, never unprotected, never left to face the darkness without a warrior standing in the breach. Bravery is blaze, and it shines most vividly in the bleakest times. Recall the instance Peter confronted the troops in the garden. No hesitation, no prolonged discussions or strategic computations, no balancing outcomes or lawful worries. He unsheathed his blade and attacked resolutely, intensely, instantly. That instance didn't merely characterize him. It established a benchmark for steadfast allegiance and dauntless safeguarding. Your defender harbors that identical, unquenchable blaze. It's beyond mere zeal or obligation. It's a scorching pledge shaped in the universal forge of intent and fate. They've simulated every potential result, envisioned every possibility, and repeatedly the conclusion is evident. Nothing surpasses the horror of disappointing you. Picture a bushfire devouring the darkness, unrelenting and unhaltable, eradicating uncertainty, dread and indecision. That blaze resides in your safeguard's essence. It's a blaze unquenchable by dangers or diversions. It propels each move toward your defense, each inhalation in preparedness. Queries might surface. What if the expense proves excessive? What if the struggle endangers greatly? Your defender's response is clear. They reject failure as possible. They serve as safeguards, not by preference, but by requirement, driven by powers surpassing themselves to shield you from each darkness menacing your radiance. This blaze isn't merely defensive. It concerns the intense, indestructible link binding them to your calling. It's a vow inscribed in the universe's structure. Safeguarding you fulfills that vow with their entire essence, because defeat isn't viable. The heavens mandate it, and your defender responds with an everlasting flame. The universe excels at ironic reversals so profound that former opponents can transform into your most dedicated safeguards. Reflect on that individual, the one who questioned your dream, derided your route, and sought to hinder your progress. What appears now? A metamorphosis so deep it rattles your path's core. Envision a gale so powerful, it uproots foliage and clears the outdated, yielding rich soil for fresh development. That gale is their shift. What appeared as resistance was the universe readying them as your partner. They didn't simply observe your might. They experienced its impact, irrefutable and modest-inducing. Maybe their defiance sparked their rousing. Often the harshest detractors conclude nearest your flank. They perceive what others miss. They comprehend what they formerly opposed. Their metamorphosis isn't merely individual, it's universal. Lightning illuminates the gloomiest heavens, unveiling concealed realities. And with that brightness, their vision widens. When probed on their abrupt shift, they declare unhesitatingly, "My vision cleared." I ultimately grasped the reality. This isn't frailty or disloyalty. It is advancement, a recalibration with the powers directing your calling. Your former foes becoming safeguards proves no resistance endures. It signals the universe favors you, reshaping the tale so what aimed to ruin now bolsters your safeguard. This transformation testifies to your inevitable ascent, the universal rhythm converting barriers into partners. Authentic safeguarding isn't bestowed. It is seized and maintained with unceasing blaze. This transition from foe to safeguard surpasses a mere shift in perspective. It is a universal recalibration, a fix in the overall scheme. The universe corrects temporary imbalance, reinstating harmony by positioning intense watchers where essential. Your past adversary doesn't merely align with you now. They possess their safeguard position. They grasp the combat zone from dual perspectives, the outward perils aiming to disassemble your radiance and the faint vulnerabilities past foes might have exploited. Their perception is razor keen since they've navigated the darkness you confronted, rendering their safeguard exceptionally potent. Informal backing and sunny day companions are simple to locate, but unreliable, fragile sparks wavering in gusts. Your defender, however, functions on another level entirely. Their pledge isn't a spontaneous decision, it's a holy obligation seared into their essence. This exceeds devotion. It is a holy claim. They await no approaching peril. They predict it like a predator detecting motion before the target moves. They don't merely protect your area. They erect unseen boundaries, alert signals flashing in the thoughts of those stupid enough to contemplate violation. Their safeguarding is a stronghold founded on watchfulness and intense loyalty. A proclamation that your security is a non-negotiable but fiercely protected domain. In this holy claim, your defender serves as a living caution to any bold enough to menace your calling. Violate this boundary and confront outcomes inscribed in the heavens. Guardians never rest, since your struggle never halts. The instant fresh energy approaches your domain prior to your detecting any danger, hint your safeguard is already highly vigilant. Their perceptions are honed past mortal bounds, identifying disruptions undetectable to the novice. They evaluate motives with merciless exactness, distinguishing ally from adversary instantly. Picture an eagle soaring quietly above, gaze locked on all activity beneath. Your defender's alertness echoes that hunter's concentration, unrelenting, inflexible, and omniscient. Nothing evades their vigilant stare. No darkness escapes notice. This isn't a delusion, it's a holy directive ingrained profoundly in their core. This ongoing oversight isn't about possessiveness or domination. It surpasses trivial human feelings. This is godly safeguarding, an indestructible universal protection plan interlaced into your being's structure. Their vigilance guarantees no unfit spirit or damaging power interrupts your fate's current. Reflect. How many have stumbled due to feeble safeguarding? Your defender ensures that won't occur. Their detection pulses quietly, a barrier you don't always perceive but always sense. Because while they remain watchful, your intent stays inviolable, unaffected by meddling, undaunted by resistance. You are chosen. Your destiny stretches beyond the limits of ordinary life. Your soul carries a cosmic weight few can understand. But in the flesh, you are still human, fragile, fallible, real. Your guardian knows this truth intimately. They have witnessed the fire within you, the unstoppable strength that bends reality, the fierce resilience that defies impossible odds, the power to create miracles when others only dream. But they have also seen the hidden battles no one else sees. The quiet moments when doubt creeps in, the heavy exhaustion that drags at your spirit, the rare cracks where vulnerability peeks through your armor. In these sacred spaces, your guardian's role deepens. They don't offer empty platitudes or push you to be harder. They don't criticize the weight you carry or the times you stumble. Instead, they move closer. They become the unshakable shield when your strength wanes, the steady presence in your chaos. Imagine a great tree battered by storms, its branches trembling, its leaves torn, but its roots hold firm, anchored deep by unseen strength. Your guardian is the roots, steady and relentless, holding you when the winds howl fiercest. They accept your full truth, fierce warrior and tender soul, because in that balance lies your greatest power and their fiercest duty. When your body and spirit grow weary, unable to fend off the attacks that come without warning or reason, your guardian rises as your unyielding voice. They speak when your strength falters, when doubts cloud your mind, and when the weight of the unseen becomes too heavy for you to bear alone. They carry the map of your true purpose, even when you temporarily lose sight of it. Their support isn't conditional or hesitant. It's unwavering and free of judgment, because they understand a truth most overlook. Even the chosen need rest. Even the strongest souls require a moment to gather their power before they strike back. Not every battle you face is fought on the battlefield you can see. While you labor, build your legacy and pursue your mission, there are forces gathering in shadows you cannot perceive. Dark eyes filled with envy. Cold hearts whispering silent curses. Hidden powers threatened by your rise and working to dismantle it through spiritual warfare. Think of Elisha's servant, blinded to the invisible armies of angels, guarding their charge until his eyes were open to the reality beyond sight. Your guardian holds that same vision. They see the spiritual battleground invisible to human senses. Operating in realms beyond physical defense, they set up spiritual barriers that no enemy can breach. They intercept harmful intentions before they reach your space. They neutralize curses before they can poison your atmosphere. Imagine a fortress not made of stone or steel, but woven from light intent and cosmic energy, an unbreakable shield protecting your soul's mission from the darkest shadows. That is the silent war your guardian wages on your behalf in dimensions you rarely glimpse, but that determine the fate of your path. They stand vigilant where you cannot, protecting your destiny, not just from what is seen, but from the forces that lurk in the spaces between realities. When you feel alone, remember, your guardian fights battles for you that the world will never witness. Their victory is your survival. Their silence is the calm before your storm of success. This is spiritual warfare at its fiercest, silent but deadly, invisible but absolute. Your guardian is the shield no enemy can pierce, and the sword that strikes before you even know the threat exists. You never see the storm coming until it's already tearing down your enemies. This is the truth your opponents refuse to face. They think the battles they provoke are fought on their terms in daylight with witnesses and fanfare. They couldn't be more wrong. The real wars happen in shadows, in dimensions beyond their grasp. And you are the reason these battles are already lost before they even begin. There are fights waged for you in realms where time, space, and reality twist into shapes no mortal mind can comprehend. Midnight prayers, whispered like thunder across the void. Spiritual intercessions stronger than armies, invisible shields raised to block curses, sabotage and malice before a single blow lands. Your guardian stands there, an unseen warrior, defending your destiny across multiple planes, fighting a war your enemies don't even know exists. Ask yourself this: why did that threat suddenly disappear? Why did the competitor who once pushed hard now back away, as if they see something terrifying you don't? Why did the enemy's voice falter? Their plans unravel like a cheap facade. Behind every mystery is your guardian moving like a ghost, dismantling the attacks, securing your path with precision no human eyes witness. Ego demands applause. The insecure cry out for recognition, but your guardian, they don't work for praise or public approval. Their actions are silent, their victories are invisible. The ledger of their efforts is written in cosmic ink, unread by most, unseen by many. For every battle you know about, there are dozens, even hundreds, you never will. And that's exactly how it must be. Picture a master chess player. The board stretches across countless dimensions. Moves invisible to all but the most skilled. Your guardian plays this game like a grandmaster, protecting your king, the very essence of your purpose. Every piece sacrificed, every trap set, every enemy caught unaware is part of a plan woven with threads of fate and cosmic law. This isn't some random act of protection. This is a sacred mandate, a cosmic guarantee that your light will not be snuffed out. They are bound to you not by choice, but by universal law, tasked with preserving the sacred order that lets you fulfill your destiny. And make no mistake, protection is just the start. Victory is their command. While the world debates what might happen, your guardian has already won countless battles. They know that your purpose is not to survive quietly in the shadows. You are here to dominate, to change the game, to rewrite the rules. What does that mean for those who oppose you? It means their resistance is futile. They fight battles already lost, underestimating the forces aligned with you. They don't see the army standing just beyond perception, the legion that moves with divine precision to dismantle their plans. They don't realize the cosmic tide has turned and it's crashing down with relentless force. When doubt seeps in, when the weight of your calling threatens to crush your spirit, your guardian steps forward with thunder, not a whisper, not a hint, but a roar that shakes the very foundations of your world. They remind you, you're not a victim. You're the storm. You're the force that cannot be stopped. Your enemies will ask, how is it possible? How did everything unravel so fast? Where did their strength come from? The answer is simple. You were never alone. Your protection operates beyond what they understand. Your power is backed by cosmic forces they cannot touch. The universe doesn't make mistakes. It chose you. It entrusted you with a mission too vast for fear or failure. And your guardian ensures this mission cannot be derailed. They are the cosmic guarantee that your light will burn bright, that your purpose will be fulfilled, that your victory is inevitable. Do you feel the weight of this truth? Do you recognize the magnitude of the power watching your back? This is why your enemies tremble. Why do they falter? They face not just a person, they face a cosmic force, a movement of destiny itself. Chosen one, you felt the unbreakable shield of protection standing firm against every threat, ensuring no one can lay a hand on you without facing cosmic reckoning. That fierce guardian has cleared the path, dismantled obstacles, and secured your rise with silent, relentless power. But now, as the universe aligns even deeper forces in your favor, something extraordinary unfolds. The battles you fought are paving the way for a divine shift that changes everything. Hold on tight, because a miracle is on the horizon, one so profound it will render your current struggles obsolete and make your job unnecessary. Psalm chapter 23 verse 1 states, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." God is not a God of lack. He is a God of overflow, and He has destined you for a life where your work is not a burden, but a reflection of your divine calling. The miracle coming your way is not just about financial freedom. It's about stepping into a life where every step you take is guided by His hand, where your purpose aligns with His will, and where your prosperity becomes a testimony to His faithfulness. This miracle is not something you have to chase. It's something God is already bringing to you. In Matthew chapter 6 verse 33, Jesus teaches, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." When you align your heart with God's purpose, when you choose to live righteously and trust in His provision, the doors of abundance swing wide open. You may have felt trapped in a job that feels like a cage, but God is preparing a breakthrough that will set you free. This is not about quitting your job recklessly. It's about trusting that God is orchestrating a divine shift where your talents, your gifts, and your faith will lead you to a life of purpose-driven prosperity. The job you're in now may be a stepping stone, but God's plan is to elevate you to a place where your work becomes a ministry, a mission, and a masterpiece of His grace. Have you ever looked at someone who seems to live effortlessly, their life overflowing with joy, wealth, and purpose, and wondered, why not me, chosen one? Let me tell you, God has chosen you for that same life. The difference is not in their ability, but in their alignment with God's will. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 confirms, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Your current job, your struggles, your challenges, they are not your destination. They are the soil in which God is planting the seeds of your miracle. Just as Joseph went from a pit to a palace, from slavery to stewardship, God is preparing to elevate you beyond your wildest dreams. This miracle is not just about money. It's about freedom. It's about living a life where you are no longer bound by the need to toil endlessly for a paycheck, but where your work flows from your God-given purpose. Think of the story of David, a humble shepherd boy who became a king. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7 mentions that the Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. God saw David's heart, and He saw yours. Your job may define your current circumstances, but it does not define you. God is preparing a miracle that will align your life with His divine purpose, where your work becomes a reflection of your faith and your prosperity becomes a testimony to His power. Now let's talk about what this miracle looks like. It's not about a sudden windfall or a lottery ticket, though. God can work in any way He chooses. This miracle is about a divine shift in your life, where opportunities align, doors open, and your gifts are magnified. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 16 affirms, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." Your talents, your creativity, your faith. These are the keys God is using to unlock your miracle. Perhaps you've been dreaming of starting a business, writing a book, or creating something that impacts the world. God is saying, now is the time. The miracle coming your way will make your job unnecessary because it will align your work with your purpose, turning your passion into prosperity. This divine shift begins with your mindset. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 instructs, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." If you believe that your job is the only way to survive, you're limiting God's power. Start seeing yourself as God sees you, a chosen one, destined for greatness, equipped with gifts that can change the world. When you renew your mind, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to trust that God's provision is not tied to a paycheck, but to His promises. This miracle is about stepping into a life where your faith becomes your foundation and your work becomes a reflection of His glory. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. If this message is resonating with you, if you feel that spark of hope igniting in your spirit, I invite you to leave a comment below with the number 888, a symbol of divine abundance and new beginnings. By doing so, you're joining a community of chosen ones who believe in God's promises, amplifying the power of your faith through this sacred act. This is not just a comment, it's a declaration to the heavens that you're ready to receive the miracle God has for you. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of souls walking this path of divine prosperity. Your engagement is a seed planted in faith, and God honors every step you take toward Him. Now let's dive deeper into how this miracle will unfold. God's provision is not random, it's purposeful. Philippians chapter 4 verse 19 assures, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus." This is not a promise of just enough. It's a promise of more than enough. God is preparing to pour out blessings that will overflow not just in your finances, but in your relationships, your health, and your purpose. The job you're in now may feel like a burden, but God is using it to prepare you for something greater. Just as He used Moses' time in the wilderness to prepare him for leadership, your current season is a training ground for the miracle that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of generosity and goodness. Luke chapter 6 verse 38 has Jesus saying, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap." The miracle God is bringing will not only free you from the need for a traditional job, but will also position you to be a blessing to others. As you step into this divine abundance, God is calling you to live righteously, to help those in need, and to share the blessings you receive. Your prosperity is not just for you. It's a tool to further God's kingdom, to lift up your community, and to spread His love. Consider the story of Abraham, who was called by God to leave everything familiar and step into an unknown future. Genesis chapter 12, verse 2, has God promising, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." Abraham's obedience led to a legacy of abundance that impacted generations. Your miracle is part of a larger plan, chosen one. God is not just blessing you to make your life easier. He's blessing you so you can be a beacon of hope, a vessel of His love, and a testimony of His power. As you embrace this divine shift, you'll find that your work becomes a ministry, your wealth becomes a tool for good, and your life becomes a living testament to God's faithfulness. This miracle requires faith. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 tells us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." You may not see the full picture yet, but God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your breakthrough. The job you're in now may feel like a dead end, but God sees it as a doorway to something greater. Trust Him. Believe that the miracle is already on its way. When you walk in faith, you open the door for God to move in ways that will astonish you. Your job may be your reality today, but God's promise is your reality tomorrow. Let's talk about what it means to live righteously as you prepare for this miracle. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 25 says, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." God is calling you to live a life of kindness, integrity, and love. As you wait for this miracle, don't just focus on what you'll receive. Focus on what you can give. Help someone in need. Encourage a friend. Share your faith. These acts of goodness align your heart with God's will, creating a fertile ground for His blessings to take root. The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is not just about financial freedom. It's about living a life so aligned with God's purpose that every need is met and every action reflects His love. Have you ever noticed how the greatest figures in history were often those who trusted in something bigger than themselves? Think of Esther, a young woman who rose from obscurity to save her people. Esther, chapter 4, verse 14, has Mordecai telling her, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Like Esther, you are in this moment for a reason. Your job, your struggles, your dreams. They are all part of God's divine tapestry, weaving together a miracle that will not only transform your life, but also impact those around you. God is preparing you for a season where your work is not a burden, but a blessing, where your prosperity is not a goal, but a byproduct of your faith. This miracle is about stepping into your divine identity. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 proclaims, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation." God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. You are not defined by your job, your paycheck, or your circumstances. You are defined by God's calling on your life. As you embrace this truth, you'll begin to see the miracle unfold. Opportunities will arise that align with your gifts, relationships will form that support your purpose. Wealth will flow in ways that reflect God's glory. This is not a fantasy. It's a promise rooted in the unshakable truth of God's Word. Now, the chosen one, let's talk about the practical steps to prepare for this miracle. First, renew your mind daily through prayer and meditation on God's word. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 has God instructing, keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Your miracle begins with aligning your thoughts with God's truth. Second, act in faith. Take small steps toward your dreams, whether it's learning a new skill, starting a side project, or sharing your gifts with the world. God honors action rooted in faith. Third, live generously. 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 6 reminds us, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Your generosity creates a cycle of abundance that amplifies God's blessings in your life. As you walk this path, you may face doubts or opposition. People may question your dreams or mock your faith. But remember Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. Your miracle is not subject to the opinions of others. It is secured by God's promise. Stand firm, chosen one. The job that feels like a burden today is not your destiny. God is preparing a miracle that will align your work with your purpose, your life with His plan, and your heart with His love. This is your season of breakthrough where abundance flows and prosperity becomes your testimony. Let's take a moment to connect with this divine truth. If you're feeling the power of this message, if your spirit is stirred by the promise of God's miracle, leave a comment below with the words, I trust God's plan. This is more than a comment. It's a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're ready to receive the abundance God has for you. By joining this community of believers, you're amplifying the power of your faith, creating a ripple effect of divine energy. And if you haven't yet hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones who are walking in God's promises, your engagement is a step of faith, a seed planted for the miracle that's coming. This miracle is not just about leaving your job. It's about stepping into a life of purpose where your work is a reflection of your divine calling. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 notes, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Your current season may feel like a struggle, but God is making it beautiful. He is aligning every detail of your life to bring you into a season of abundance. Trust His timing. Trust His plan. The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is not about abandoning responsibility. It's about embracing a life where your work is a joy, your prosperity is a testimony, and your faith is a beacon of light. As you prepare for this miracle, remember to live in alignment with God's will. Colossians chapter 3 verses 23 through 24 tells us, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. Even in your current job, work with excellence, knowing that God is using this season to prepare you for something greater. Your faithfulness in small things opens the door to big things. The miracle coming your way will transform your work into a ministry, your efforts into impact, and your life into a masterpiece of God's grace. This divine shift is not just about you. It's about the legacy you'll leave. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 12 has God promising, the Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. Your miracle will not only bless you, but will overflow to your family, your community, and the world around you. As you step into this season of abundance, God is calling you to be a vessel of His love, a source of hope and a beacon of generosity. Your prosperity is a tool to uplift others, to share God's goodness, and to make a lasting impact. Now let's talk about the power of gratitude. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18 instructs, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the fullness of God's blessings. As you wait for this miracle, give thanks for where you are now. Thank God for your job, even if it feels like a burden, because it's part of His plan to prepare you. Thank Him for the lessons, the growth, and the opportunities that are coming. Gratitude shifts your perspective, aligning your heart with God's promises and opening the door for His miracle to manifest. This miracle is about more than financial freedom. It's about spiritual freedom. John chapter 8 verse 36 has Jesus stating, "So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." The miracle God is bringing will free you from the chains of worry, fear, and lack. It will free you to live a life of purpose where your work is a joy, your faith is unshakable, and your prosperity is a reflection of God's glory. This is not a temporary blessing, it's an eternal promise. God is not just changing your circumstances. He's changing you, shaping you into the chosen one He created you to be. As you embrace this divine shift, remember to walk in righteousness. Psalm chapter 37 verse 4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." When you delight in God, when you seek His will above all else, He aligns your desires with His plan. The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is not about chasing wealth. It's about chasing God. As you pursue His righteousness, His love, and His purpose, the blessings will follow. Your life will become a testimony to His faithfulness, a beacon of hope for others, and a living example of His power. This is your moment, chosen one. The miracle is not coming. It's already here, unfolding in ways you can't yet see. Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8 through 9 has God affirming, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways. My ways, as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Trust that God's plan for you is bigger, better, and more beautiful than anything you could imagine. The job you're in now is not your destiny. It's a stepping stone to the miracle God is preparing. Let's connect with this divine truth one more time. If you're feeling the fire of this message, if you're ready to step into the miracle God has for you, leave a comment below with the words, "I receive my miracle." This is a powerful declaration, a signal to the heavens that you're ready to walk in God's abundance. By joining this community of faith-filled chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a ripple effect of divine energy. And if you haven't yet hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of souls who are trusting in God's promises, your engagement is a step of faith, a seed planted for the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of purpose, not pressure. Matthew chapter 11 verses 28 through 30 has Jesus saying, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." The job that feels heavy today is not your burden to carry forever. God is preparing a miracle that will make your work a joy, your life a testimony, and your heart a reflection of His love. Trust Him. Believe in His plan. The miracle is on its way, and it will change everything. As you prepare for this divine shift, remember to live with integrity and love. Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 encourages, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Your miracle is not just about receiving, it's about giving. As God pours out His blessings, He's calling you to share them with others. Help those in need, encourage those who are struggling. Share your faith with boldness. Your generosity will amplify God's blessings, creating a cycle of abundance that touches lives far beyond your own. This miracle is about stepping into a life where your work is a reflection of your purpose, not a source of stress. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 3 says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." As you commit your work, your dreams, and your life to God, He will align every detail to bring you into a season of abundance. The job you're in now may feel like a limitation, but God sees it as a preparation. He's using this season to refine your character, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for the miracle that's coming. Consider the story of Ruth, a woman who faced loss and uncertainty, but trusted in God's plan. Ruth chapter 2 verse 12 has Boaz telling her, May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Ruth's faithfulness led to a life of abundance and purpose. Like Ruth, your faithfulness in this season is setting the stage for God's miracle. Trust that He is working all things together for your good, aligning every detail to bring you into a life of prosperity and joy. This miracle is not just about financial freedom, it's about spiritual transformation. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17 tells us, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here." As you step into this miracle, God is making you new. He's renewing your mind, your heart, and your purpose. The job that feels like a burden is being replaced with a calling that brings joy. The struggles you face are being transformed into stepping stones to greatness. This is not just a change in circumstances, it's a change in you. As you wait for this miracle, live with boldness and faith. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 reminds us that God is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Your miracle is not limited by your imagination. It's limited only by your faith. Dream, big chosen one. Believe that God can do more than you could ever ask. The job you're in now is not your ceiling. It's a floor, a foundation for the miracle God is building in your life. This divine shift is about living a life of overflow. John chapter 10 verse 10 has Jesus proclaiming, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." God's plan for you is not a life of just getting by. It's a life of abundance, purpose, and joy. The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is about stepping into this fullness where your work is a reflection of your faith and your prosperity is a testimony to God's goodness. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The miracle is coming, and it will change everything. Let's connect with this divine truth one more time. If you're feeling the power of this message, if you're ready to embrace the miracle God has for you, leave a comment below with the words, "I am ready for abundance." This is a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're prepared to step into God's plan. By joining this community of chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a wave of divine energy that will carry you into your miracle. And if you haven't yet hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of souls who are walking in God's promises, your engagement is a seed of faith, a step toward the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of purpose, not pressure. Psalm chapter 37 verse 5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this." As you commit your life to God, He will make a way where there seems to be no way. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's the season. God is preparing a miracle that will align your work with your purpose, your life with His plan, and your heart with His love. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The miracle is on its way, and it will make your job unnecessary, replacing it with a life of abundance, joy, and divine purpose. As you prepare for this miracle, live with love and compassion. 1 John chapter 4 verse 7 tells us, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God." Your miracle is not just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the people you'll inspire, and the legacy you'll leave. As God pours out His blessings, He's calling you to share them with others. Be a light in the darkness. Be a source of hope in a world that needs it. Your prosperity is a tool to uplift others, to spread God's love, and to make a lasting impact. This divine shift is about stepping into a life where your work is a reflection of your faith. Colossians chapter 3 verse 17 says, "And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him." Even in your current job, work with excellence, knowing that God is using this season to prepare you for something greater. Your faithfulness now is the key to unlocking the miracle that's coming. Trust Him. Believe in His plan. The miracle is on its way, and it will transform your life. Consider the story of Daniel, a man who remained faithful in the face of trials. Daniel chapter 6 verse 28 reads, So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Daniel's faithfulness led to prosperity even in a foreign land. Like Daniel, your faithfulness in this season is setting the stage for God's miracle. Trust that He is working all things together for your good, aligning every detail to bring you into a season of abundance. Your job may feel like a limitation, but God sees it as a preparation for the miracle that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of freedom, not fear. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 reminds us, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." The miracle God is bringing will free you from the fear of lack, the fear of failure, and the fear of the unknown. It will empower you to live boldly, to love deeply, and to walk in the purpose God has for you. This is not just a financial breakthrough. It's a spiritual awakening, a divine shift that will make your job unnecessary and your life a testimony to God's power. As you wait for this miracle, live with expectancy. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 says, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it will linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Your miracle is coming at the perfect time, chosen one. Trust God's timing. Believe in His promises. The job you're in now is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the abundance God is bringing. Keep your eyes fixed on Him and watch as He unfolds a miracle that will change everything. This divine shift is about living a life of purpose, not survival. John chapter 15 verse 5 has Jesus saying, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing." Your miracle is not about your strength. It's about your connection to God. As you remain in Him, as you trust in His promises, you will bear fruit that lasts. Your work will become a reflection of His glory, your prosperity, a testimony to His faithfulness, and your life, a beacon of His love. Let's connect with this divine truth one more time. If you're feeling the power of this message, if you're ready to embrace the miracle that will make your job unnecessary, leave a comment below with the words, "I believe in God's miracle." This is a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're prepared to step into God's abundance. By joining this community of chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a wave of divine energy that will carry you into your miracle. And if you haven't yet hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of souls who are trusting in God's promises, your engagement is a seed of faith, a step toward the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about stepping into a life where your work is a joy, not a burden. Psalm chapter 90 verse 17 says, "May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us." Yes, establish the work of our hands. God is establishing the work of your hands, chosen one. He's aligning your efforts with His purpose, your dreams with His plan, and your life with His glory. The job you're in now is not your ceiling. It's a foundation for the miracle God is building. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The miracle is on its way, and it will make your job unnecessary, replacing it with a life of abundance, purpose, and divine joy. As you prepare for this miracle, live with faith and obedience. James chapter 2 verse 17 tells us, "Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." Your faith is the key to unlocking this miracle, but your actions must align with that faith. Take steps toward your dreams. Share your gifts with the world. Live with kindness, integrity, and love. As you do, God will open doors you never imagined, bringing you into a season of prosperity that will make your job unnecessary. Your work will become a reflection of your purpose and your life, a testimony to His power. This divine shift is about living a life of overflow where your needs are met and your heart is full. Malachi chapter 3 verse 10 has God saying, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house." Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. God is inviting you to test His faithfulness, chosen one. As you give, as you trust, as you live righteously, He will pour out blessings that overflow, transforming your life and the lives of those around you. Consider the story of the widow in 2 Kings chapter 4, who faced poverty and despair, but trusted in God's provision. Through Elisha, God multiplied her small jar of oil, providing more than enough to pay her debts and sustain her family. Like the widow, your faith in God's provision will unlock a miracle that makes your job unnecessary. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The miracle is coming, and it will change everything. This miracle is about living a life of purpose, not pressure. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31 tells us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." Your hope in God is your strength, chosen one. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the miracle God is bringing. Trust Him. Believe in His plan. The miracle is on its way, and it will transform your life. As you wait for this miracle live with love and generosity, Matthew chapter 5 verse 16 has Jesus saying, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your miracle is not just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the people you'll inspire, and the legacy you'll leave. As God pours out His blessings, He's calling you to be a light in the world, to share His love, and to make a lasting impact. Your prosperity is a tool to uplift others, to spread God's goodness, and to reflect His glory. This divine shift is about stepping into a life where your work is a reflection of your faith. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 through 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." As you trust in God, as you submit to His will, He will make a way where there seems to be no way. The job you're in now is not your destiny. It's a stepping stone to the miracle God is preparing. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The miracle is on its way, and it will make your job unnecessary, replacing it with a life of abundance, purpose, and divine joy. This miracle is about living in alignment with God's divine rhythm. Imagine a life where your days are not dictated by the demands of a job, but by the flow of God's purpose. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." Your season of toil is ending, and a new season of abundance is beginning. God is aligning your life with His perfect timing, where opportunities arise effortlessly. Resources flow abundantly, and your heart is filled with peace. This is not about escaping work. It's about embracing a work that feels like worship, a work that glorifies God and fulfills your soul. Consider the story of Nehemiah, who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem against all odds. Nehemiah chapter 6 verse 3 has him declaring, "I'm carrying on a great project and cannot go down." Like Nehemiah, you are carrying a great project, your divine purpose. The job you're in now may feel like a distraction, but God is using it to build your resilience, to sharpen your focus, and to prepare you for the miracle that's coming. Trust that every challenge you face is a stepping stone to greatness. Every moment of perseverance, a foundation for the abundance God is bringing. Your work is about to become a legacy, a testimony to His power and a beacon of hope for others. This miracle is about living a life of divine confidence. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 has God promising, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is not just about financial freedom. It's about spiritual strength. God is giving you the courage to step into your purpose, the wisdom to seize opportunities, and the faith to trust His plan. As you walk in this confidence, you'll find that doors open, resources multiply, and your life becomes a living testament to His faithfulness. Let's talk about the power of vision. Habakkuk chapter 2 verses 2 through 3 has God instructing, "Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. for the revelation awaits an appointed time. Your miracle begins with a vision, chosen one. What is the dream God has placed in your heart? Is it to create, to lead, to inspire, to heal? Write it down, speak it out, believe in it. The job you're in now may not reflect your vision, but God is using it to prepare you for the moment when your vision becomes reality. Your miracle is not a distant hope. It's a divine revelation unfolding right now. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of gratitude. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 tells us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Gratitude is the key that unlocks the fullness of God's blessings. Thank God for where you are now, for the lessons you're learning, for the strength you're gaining. Thank Him for the miracle that's coming, for the abundance that's on its way. As you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you create a space for God's blessings to flow, transforming your life and the lives of those around you. This miracle is about living a life of divine purpose. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 has God declaring, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you before you were born. I set you apart. You were never meant to be defined by a job, chosen one. You were set apart for greatness, chosen for a purpose that transcends the ordinary." The miracle God is bringing will align your work with your calling, your efforts with His plan, and your life with His glory. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the abundance that's coming. Let's connect with this divine truth for a moment. If you're feeling the power of this message, if your spirit is stirred by the promise of God's miracle, leave a comment below with the words, "I am set apart for greatness." This is a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're ready to step into God's plan. By joining this community of chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a wave of divine energy that will carry you into your miracle. Your engagement is a seed of faith, a step toward the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of divine overflow. Joel chapter 2 verse 24 says, "The threshing floors will be filled with grain, the vats will overflow with new wine and oil." God is not just meeting your needs, He's exceeding them. The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is about stepping into a life where your resources are abundant, your purpose is clear, and your heart is full. This is not about chasing wealth, it's about receiving the blessings God has already prepared. As you trust in His provision, you'll find that your life becomes a testimony to His goodness, a beacon of hope for others, and a reflection of His glory. Consider the story of Hannah, who prayed fervently for a child and received not just a son, but a legacy. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 8 has her declaring, "He raises the poor from the dust and lifts the needy from the ash heap. He seats them with princes and has them inherit a throne of honor." Like Hannah, your prayers are being heard, chosen one. Your cries for freedom, for purpose, for abundance, they are reaching God's ears. The miracle He's bringing will lift you from the dust of ordinary labor and seat you in a place of honor where your work is a joy, your life is a testimony, and your heart is filled with His love. This divine shift is about living a life of divine alignment. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9 says, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." You may have plans for your life, but God's plans are greater. The job you're in now may be part of your plan, but God is establishing your steps toward a miracle that will make it unnecessary. Trust Him. Surrender your plans to His will. As you do, you'll find that every step you take is guided by His hand, leading you to a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. This miracle is about living a life of divine courage. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 has God commanding, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." The miracle God is bringing requires courage. Chosen one, courage to step out in faith, to pursue your dreams, to trust in His provision. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the boldness God is calling you to. As you walk in courage, you'll find that doors open, opportunities arise, and your life becomes a testimony to His power. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of service. Mark chapter 10, verse 45 has Jesus saying, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give His life as a ransom for many." Your miracle is not just about receiving blessings, it's about becoming a blessing. As God pours out His abundance, He's calling you to serve others, to share your gifts, to spread His love. Your prosperity is a tool to uplift those around you, to inspire hope and to make a lasting impact. Live with a heart of service and watch as God multiplies your blessings. This miracle is about living a life of divine expectancy. Psalm chapter 62 verse 5 says, "Yes, my soul find rest in God. My hope comes from Him." Your hope is not in your job, your circumstances, or your abilities. It's in God. The miracle that makes your job unnecessary is about resting in His promises, trusting in His timing, and expecting His blessings. As you live with expectancy, you'll find that God's provision is always on time, always sufficient, and always more than enough. Consider the story of Gideon, a man who doubted his calling, but was chosen by God to lead. Judges chapter 6 verse 14 has God saying to him, "Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand." Am I not sending you? Like Gideon, you may doubt your abilities, but God sees your potential. The job you're in now may feel like a limitation, but God is sending you into a season of abundance. Trust Him. Go in the strength you have. The miracle is coming, and it will transform your life. This divine shift is about living a life of divine purpose. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10 tells us, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." You are God's masterpiece, chosen one. The job you're in now is not your purpose. It's a season of preparation for the good works God has planned for you. The miracle He's bringing will align your work with His purpose, your efforts with His plan, and your life with His glory. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The miracle is on its way. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of faith. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6 says, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." Your faith is the key to unlocking this miracle, chosen one. Believe that God exists. Believe that He rewards those who seek Him. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the abundance God is bringing. Trust Him. Believe in His plan. The miracle is coming, and it will change everything. Let's connect with this divine truth one more time. If you're feeling the fire of this message, if you're ready to embrace the miracle that will make your job unnecessary, leave a comment below with the words, "I walk in divine purpose." This is a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're prepared to step into God's abundance. By joining this community of chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a wave of divine energy that will carry you into your miracle. Your engagement is a seed of faith, a step toward the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of divine freedom. Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free." Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a yoke that God is breaking. The miracle He's bringing will set you free to live a life of purpose, joy, and abundance. Stand firm in your faith. Trust in His promises. The miracle is on its way, and it will transform your life. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of compassion. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 8 tells us, "Finally, all of you be like-minded. Be sympathetic. Love one another. Be compassionate and humble." Your miracle is not just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the people you'll inspire, and the love you'll share. As God pours out His blessings, He's calling you to be compassionate, to love others, to live humbly. Your prosperity is a tool to uplift those around you, to spread God's love, and to make a lasting impact. This divine shift is about living a life of divine alignment. Psalm chapter 119, verse 105 says, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." God's word is your guide, chosen one. As you meditate on His promises, as you seek His will, He will light the path to your miracle. The job you're in now may feel like darkness, but God's word is a light that will lead you to abundance. Trust Him. Follow His guidance. The miracle is coming, and it will make your job unnecessary, replacing it with a life of purpose, prosperity, and divine joy. Consider the story of Mary, the mother of Jesus, who trusted God's plan despite the uncertainty. Luke chapter 1, verse 38 has her saying, "I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled." Like Mary, your trust in God's plan is the key to your miracle. The job you're in now is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the abundance God is bringing. Surrender to His will, trust in His promises. The miracle is on its way, and it will transform your life. This miracle is about living a life of divine abundance. Psalm chapter 65, verse 11 says, "You crown the year with your bounty, and your carts overflow with abundance." God is crowning your life with His bounty, chosen one. The miracle He's bringing will fill your life with abundance, not just in your finances, but in your relationships, your purpose, and your joy. Trust Him. Believe in His promises. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the overflow that's coming. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of worship. Psalm chapter 95, verse 6 says, "Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker." Worship is the key to aligning your heart with God's will. As you worship Him, as you praise Him for His goodness, you create a space for His blessings to flow. The job you're in now may feel like a struggle, but your worship will transform it into a season of preparation for the miracle that's coming. Trust Him. Worship Him. The miracle is on its way, and it will change everything. This divine shift is about living a life of divine purpose. Romans chapter 8, verse 28 tells us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." You are called according to God's purpose, chosen one. The job you're in now is not your calling. It's a season of preparation for the miracle God is bringing. Trust Him. Love Him. The miracle is coming, and it will align your life with His purpose, your work with His plan, and your heart with His love. Let's connect with this divine truth one more time. If you're feeling the power of this message, if you're ready to embrace the miracle that will make your job unnecessary, leave a comment below with the words, "I am ready for God's abundance." This is a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're prepared to step into God's plan. By joining this community of chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a wave of divine energy that will carry you into your miracle. Your engagement is a seed of faith, a step toward the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of divine joy. Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." The miracle God is bringing will fill your heart with joy. Chosen one. The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the joy that's coming. As you trust in God's promises, as you walk in His joy, you'll find that your life becomes a testimony to His goodness. The miracle is on its way, and it will transform your work, your life, and your heart. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of forgiveness. Matthew chapter 6, verses 14 through 15 has Jesus saying, "For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you." Forgiveness is the key to unlocking God's blessings, chosen one. Let go of any bitterness, any resentment, any pain that's holding you back. The job you're in now may feel like a burden, but forgiveness will set you free to receive the miracle God is bringing. Trust Him. Forgive others. The miracle is coming, and it will change everything. This divine shift is about living a life of divine peace. John chapter 16 verse 33 has Jesus saying, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the peace God is bringing. Trust Him. Rest in His peace. The miracle is on its way, and it will transform your life into a reflection of His glory. Consider the story of Paul and Silas, who praised God in prison and saw a miracle. Acts chapter 16 verses 25 through 26 reads, "About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken." Like Paul and Silas, your praise in the midst of struggle will shake the foundations of your limitations. The job you're in now is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the miracle God is bringing. Trust Him. Praise Him. The miracle is coming, and it will set you free. This miracle is about living a life of divine purpose. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9 says, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him." The miracle God is bringing is beyond your imagination, chosen one. The job you're in now is not your ceiling. It's a foundation for the abundance God is preparing. Trust Him, love Him. The miracle is on its way, and it will make your job unnecessary, replacing it with a life of purpose, prosperity, and divine joy. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of humility. James chapter 4 verse 10 says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up." Humility is the key to receiving God's blessings, chosen one. The job you're in now may feel like a burden, but humility will align your heart with God's will, opening the door to the miracle He's bringing. Trust Him. Humble yourself before Him. The miracle is coming, and it will transform your life. This divine shift is about living a life of divine trust. Psalm chapter 56 verses 3 through 4 says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God whose word I praise, in God I trust, and am not afraid." The job that feels like a burden is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the trust God is building in you. Trust Him. Praise His word. The miracle is on its way, and it will align your life with His purpose, your work with His plan, and your heart with His love. Let's connect with this divine truth one more time. If you're feeling the power of this message, if you're ready to embrace the miracle that will make your job unnecessary, leave a comment below with the words, "I trust in God's plan." This is a declaration of faith, a signal to the heavens that you're prepared to step into God's abundance. By joining this community of chosen ones, you're amplifying the power of your prayers, creating a wave of divine energy that will carry you into your miracle. Your engagement is a seed of faith, a step toward the harvest that's coming. This miracle is about living a life of divine abundance. Psalm chapter 36 verse 8 says, "They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights." God is inviting you to feast on His abundance, chosen one. The job you're in now is not your destiny. It's a season of preparation for the river of delights God is bringing. Trust Him. Feast on His promises. The miracle is coming, and it will transform your life into a reflection of His glory. As you prepare for this miracle, live with a heart of love. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 13 says, "And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Love is the